Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation, with my collar tucked out of sorts, which is very frustrating to me. I'm not going to allow this kind of breach of dress code to stand. One must look professional when addressing the briefing. So, now that we're all cleaned up, as I have done for over a year and 3 months and counting, because that's right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next approximately 1 hour and 40 minutes for today's briefing. But before we begin the stream subject, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. Blue Horntail, congratulations on your second day in a row of being the most punctual member of the Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Then, Chest to Factory, Silent Follower, Wesker, hey, it's been a minute. Hope you've been doing well, doing good science. Senior Researcher Alex, Sleepless Dragon, CD23, Rune, Mamori. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns, Rain, Am, Yusufar, Yamada, Musical Sand, Terror, Dano, Raided, Fox's Diagons, Eclipse Star, Logan, and Ya Local Bean. All of you interns, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Now, today's stream is, of course, sponsored by Dr. Sherman is going to MetroCon next weekend. I will be there live in person, hosting 2 different panels about the SCP Foundation for your questions to be answered by myself live in person. These panels will be live streamed, so even if you are not in Tampa, Florida next weekend, you will be able to see what shenaniganery and chicanery we get up to. So, be aware that for at least one time only, the Friday and Saturday streams will be markedly on time and in a locked place where you can know and plan when to watch. They will be Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and they will be Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, the next week stream are locked in. You may also come in person. If you happen to be at MetroCon in Tampa, I'll be there. I'll have stickers. Toad King Studios will also be there. He will have stickers and pins. His stuff is for sale at the panel. Mine is a couple freebies to give away. And so, hopefully we'll see you in person, or at least at the live stream of the panels. Now, before I get into today's main stream subject, I am going to give a special sponsor shout-out to an ambitious SCP project that the Desk of Alto Clef brought across my, desk. Interesting. So yes, apparently, friend of the channel Billith, creator of the sweet Slowgramming experimental music project, very much based upon several SCP stories, which you can listen to on Spotify, Bandcamp, and YouTube, Billith has dropped a very ambitious SCP. This is a new SCP-001 proposal by the name of Billith's Proposal 2, codename Baseline. And this is an interactive, choices matter psychological horror experience following a mysterious event which alters everyone on Earth except for you. I am not kidding when I'm saying that this is a playable SCP document on the website. You go to Billith's Proposal 2, and you read the document, and once you hit day 1, oh my, we have some real dark and light mode, sound effects, air quality. This looks ridiculous. And so obviously such an ambitious project needed to be shouted out on the Site42 platform so that you could see the happening haps and enjoy yourself. So, Billith's Proposal 2, codename Baseline, is already at a plus 50 something on the SCP database. Feel free to enjoy the interactive psychological horror at your leisure. Let me just hit the retweet button here so Billith gets some more hype. But because I have just only learned about this, it is not today's stream subject. I will get into today's stream subject, after which we will have general Q&A for the remainder of stream. So, today's stream subject is, as you guys know, sometimes I just don't have any ideas of what to talk about. There's no news. There's no drama. And so what am I to do when trying to talk about a crazy collaborative fiction project with over 20,000 stories on it? Except hit the random SCP page button. And so today, in preparing for stream, I hit the random page button. And I was flashbanged by the unfortunate night mode, the unfortunate lack of night mode, with a page called The KO Failure Scenario. Interesting. That sounds very similar to our K-Class End of the World scenarios. But it sounds slightly different. I wonder why it sounds slightly different. And now, since it's a rather short page, I will read this particular page verbatim. End of the World KO Failure Scenario. I feel like I really need to say, End of the World KO Failure Scenario. I think that feels better. The executive pugilist skimmed over the title of the young researcher's proposal and furrowed his brow. What the hell is an End of the World KO Failure Scenario? The researcher grinned, excited to discuss her work. Any scenario in which the center is compromised in such a way that it is permanently and utterly unable to complete its mission, sir. In technical terms, the sharks win. Isn't that a little broad? Maybe, but do we really need a million subclassifications to tell the reader that X causes the center to fail in this specific way? In the end, it's always the sharks winning. Fair enough, he shrugged. I do suppose that would get a little redundant after a while. I'll send this up to the rest of the Executive Pugilist Assembly. No promises they'll do anything with it. Wonderful, the researcher beamed. I've taken the liberty to include several different examples in the packet. Nothing fancy, just a couple of unique ways the scenario can go down. The Executive Pugilist nodded and watched the young researcher take her leave. And now we have a listing of titles of documents, followed by a brief quote from the document. Document 1, SPC-001, codename Pepper Ghost's Proposal, I guess. I remember sitting in the Site 71 cafeteria eating pickled cabbage and creamed corn salads with my comrades when I finally heard someone ask aloud what we'd all wondered in the dark corners of our heads. What if they don't come back? Is this a proposal where the Sharks did not win, but in fact they disappeared? Interesting. The next document is called After They Broke Our Fists. Only the tips of Denver's skyscrapers still protruded above the sea. Glass tombstones for citizens that were washed away years ago. Within one of those lonesome monoliths, a young man in a red and black life jacket watched the surf. Despite the knowledge of what lurked within that water, he felt a sense of calm as sunlight illuminated its surface. Okay, so Denver is below sea level now. Interesting. The next document is SPC-172-J. The quote, SPC-172 is a Salation entity known to civilians as the Narwhal. Shark Punching Center, you better be careful punching that narwhal. It has a sharp-bladed implement right in its face hole. You would be stabbed when you punched. I guess it's very dangerous being a member of the Shark Punching Center. Narwhals swimming through the ocean. Sorry, it got stuck in my head. And then the final document is SCP-3760. Quote, it was like someone shit in a dead fish and left it in the hot summer sun for a few days. The flesh around his foot was all kinds of black and green and maroon. There were these sharp, tooth-like protrusions sticking out of the skin where I'd put the sutures. They chewed their way through the thread, leaving open gaps that exposed more rows of smaller, sharper teeth inside. The final block of text. Skimming over the list of examples, he furrowed his brow once more. What the fuck is an SCP? He then sighed and resumed punching his stress shark. End of document. So apparently, this document was submitted for the Doomsday Contest of 2018, in which they wrote End of the World Anomalies, and this team, which was a combination of some of the heaviest hitter names on the database. This was Jacob Conwell, Pepper's Ghost, The Great Hippo, and Dave You Fool. What a team. If you were around in 2018, they don't miss. And so, yes, the Doomsday end of the KO failure scenario of the Shark Punching Center. So, yes, at this point, that's the whole document. There are 4 contest entries, stories here by some heavy hitters of the SCP database. I highly recommend giving this KO failure scenario hub a read, as well as its cohabitant stories. And yes, I just thought that the random page button bringing up the Shark Punching Center would be entertaining for you all. So please enjoy some Shark Punching Center tales at your leisure. As long as we have access to their database, why not? But that is our stream subject for the day. We currently have 85 minutes left remaining in stream. I will now return to the chat, where I will read the donos, and then we will have general Q&A. No, I guess that's not true, Before I can do that, the puppy of interest, 42, codenamed Charlie, has sauntered in. Come here, little one. Puppy of interest 42, codenamed Charlie, has come to visit the stream. And so the sweetest pumpkin hit site 42 has graced you with her presence. I do hope that you will appreciate her adorabilitude. And, as always, here is the chat-mandated treat for the baby. The baby has a wonderful treat. Are we being graced with a second child? Is Agent Charlemagne present? Agent Charlemagne and Puppy of Interest 42. They are friends. And adorable. How majestic of you, Agent Charlemagne. Looking sharp. Did you trim your whiskers? Very sharp. Very handsome. Be free, children. Be free. Alright, for my allergies, I will wipe. And then, as I said, donations, and then the general Q&A. Starting out, Intern Daniel, thank you for sending a single star to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. They are now a 1-star Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Let's see if they can make it to 5 stars by the end of stream. Intern Clown Monarch. King of Clowns, I see. Regal. Royal. Very powerful. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please help yourself to some cottoned candy on your way past the commissary. Are you a smart fella or a fart smella? An interesting query. I believe I will leave this query of all queries.
Well, you're not a smart fella.
I was going to hilariously give you a poll to make this a decision of you all. But it seems like my YouTube client has taken away the ability to give you guys polls. Where are the polls? Oh, the polls are back. Okay, I found the polls. Is Dr. Sherman a smart fella or fart smella? Site 42 staff, it is up to you to decide this very important issue. Poll start. Don't you dare hide the polls from me again. Intern Clown Monarch, you say that you are allergic to cotton candy. Can you get a Dr. Pepper instead? Well, especially since you have the dopest taste in soda pop. Yes, you may. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a hickory smoked bacon on your way past the commissary. What would happen if you gave a genderless SCP the gender switching stone? Also, how are the pets of interest and desk? Well, the pets of interest are doing quite well, I notice. Desk, how are you doing? The chat wants to know. And a genderless SCP, so if it's truly genderless, then the SCP-113, the gender switching stone, has no effect on it. So if it has gender, but in a non-binary sense, they're unpredictable reactions. But if it is completely genderless, then it actually has no reaction at all. Huh. So, Desk is showing me, that the membership names are all now uncolored in the chat, which is very annoying. Thanks, YouTube, for making my life more difficult, because now I can't even spot green names. At least I can still see your badges. But furthermore, Desk happened to grab some screen grabs that are very incriminating while trying to prove this to me, and I'm going to bring up a reference. So, seemingly, Desk's screen grabbed gave me a big helping of... Whoa. And for a certain minute, I definitely thought that I looked like that right there for a second. It's not quite as the same as I saw at first glance, but that's what I thought of. So, thank you, Desk, for that. Much appreciated. Alright, returning to chat. 100 stars. Thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They are now a 2-star team, working their way up to a 5-star team. Is there an SCP-067 and what is it? Intern Nicole, yes, SCP-067 is a anomalous fountain pen. If it is held in your hand, it takes over your arm, and it either makes you write your entire life story, even things you don't remember, because the pen is very, very smart in reading your mind, or time traveling somehow. And also, it may instead force you to draw super, super cool art, even better than you could ever draw in your life. Go read the SCP-067 document for more information. Intern Nicole, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They are now a 3-star team. Almost a little more than halfway to 5 stars. Shark Week is here. Oh, intern Angelica Schuyler. Yes. I think I saw something about that because Ray Ami of K-Pop Demon Hunters is going into shark hunting Shark Week stuff this week. I think I saw that on the social medias. So yes, very coincidental that the random page button brought me a Shark Punching Center article during Shark Week. Almost prophetic, actually. Intern Rocky, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a fruit salad. Yummy, yummy on your way past the commissary. SCP-729. Ow! That's Jake. Made 682 die, it just turned to dust. Well, I know that it destroyed 682, but it didn't turn it to dust. It turned it to nothingness. Read the document for that abomination again. Intern Nicole, thank you for sending 2 stars to the chat. You have made them a 5-star team for the first time of this stream. Congratulations on being a 5-star Containment Hazard Assessment team, chat. Sands, thank you for sending the chat 2 doubloons. I am sure they will spend them wisely. Wesker, thank you for being a level 1 researcher here at Site 42 for 3 months. We appreciate your quarter of a year of membership and service. Remember to regularly check your walls, sir. Oh, don't worry. I have a minotaur parading the labyrinth that seems to have been carved out in there. So anyone who thinks they're going to have a good time hanging out in there will have to think again. Dr. Sherman, I was an SCP fan since I was 3 years old, lol. Intern Deddy, that is particularly worrying since the SCP Foundation is a community for adults with graphic horror and sexuality involved. I hope that your parents are the ones exposing you to this in good measure to make sure that you are not being traumatized by the horrors. It's a rated R movie, so if your parents say it's okay, then I guess it's okay. I know for a fact that several of my close personal friends purchased the first run of the Dr. Sherman plushie for their children. And that means that I certainly hope they are taking responsibility for what they are exposing their children to. Dr. Sherman, what if you use SCP-113 on SCP-230? Will the gayest man alive switch into the lesbianist man alive? Well, no. First and foremost, the gayest man alive would become the gayest woman alive. Because the gayest in the gayest man alive, as I said in yesterday's spontaneous video, because so many people have been bugging me about the gayest man alive recently, the word gayest there does not refer to homosexuality. It refers to happiness, gaiety. It is the older use of gay in that sense. And so, the gayest man alive is happy all the time because it's constantly high on superheroin that it produces from its skin. So it would still be the gayest woman alive. And again, 230 does not have asexuality at all. SCP-230 is actually asexual. Hashtag asexual gang. Because of the superheroin. It is constantly at a level of happiness more than 5 times greater than sexual climax. SCP-230 does not need sex because it is always super high AF. Therefore, it does not have asexuality, but it would become a woman. Intern rated. That's peak. I'm actually Arrow Ace lol. There's your representation. Huzzah. Rocky, thank you for sending 3 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have reset them to a 3-star team with 1 prestige rank. Maybe they'll earn their 5-star status back. And Rocky, thank you for... that was Rocky with 1 star, Kamulk with 2 stars. So Rocky made you a 1-star team. Kamulk at least brought you back up to 3 stars. And then Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, for me it was creepypasta since I was 7 years old. Again, I hope the children's are getting proper parental guidance of their entertainment. Desk, I hate to alarm you, but I'm currently looking at the roster of this chat, and we are at 6-7 viewers with 6-7 likes. Dear Lord, there's no escaping. Also, by the way, for everybody complaining about being exposed to 6-7, everyone complaining, try having a cover job as a ballroom dance instructor or any dance instructor. Because every day you are constantly having to say 5, 6, 7, 8. Every time. It haunts me. Intern Secret Cat. Hey, Dr. Sherman, you're looking very handsome today. Well, thank you, Intern Secret Cat. I appreciate the compliment. I'm actually celebrating my handsomeness today. In my Rehab and Foundation Fitness Initiative journey, sponsor link in the chat to get a Foundation Fitness Initiative shirt to join us on the journey, I have reached the benchmark of losing exactly 25 pounds today. Now, as a reminder, losing weight is not always the goal of a fitness journey. In fact, I am still trying to put on muscle, which will make my weight go up. But I did happen to gain a lot of belly fat from overly abusing alcohol during the 6 months to a year that I was laid up on the couch with an ankle injury, depressed and unable to go to the gym or move or do my dance teaching. And so I put on a lot of weight, and now we are losing that excess weight, which is good. But you still want to put on weight if you need muscle. And so, make sure that you are doing the Foundation Fitness journey properly, not just getting skinny. It's not the goal, although it is good for me. You also, the foundation of fitness, the 4 pillars of foundation to pay attention to. Strength endurance, balance, and flexibility. That leads to strength, to mobility, to having a human body that is strong and movable, so that when a containment breach occurs, you can parkour away from the anomalies, outrun them, and not die. So remember, strength, endurance, balance, and flexibility. You should be training all these things. Yikes, did you recover? Intern Chosos, I am still doing ankle rehab. My right leg is still weak from the injury, and I'm working on strengthening it. But we are making definite progress. Intern Dewey, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Daniel, thank you for sending a 6-7 to the chat. No doubt to mock the pain of our previous double 6-7 scenario. An end of the world scenario to end all end of the world scenarios. Aflac, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a tostada on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, search up Captain Howler. I will in a second. I'm curious about something. Intern Secret Cat has an interesting question. How does he pick which comments to read, like what's in the corners? So, Secret Cat, what I am looking at right now, up and above, is a larger screen that has the donations and the general chat. I can also see the general chat down here, but only about 5 messages, so I use the bigger screen. That's what's in the corners. Now, first priority is always answering the donos. If you were generous enough to donate to the Site 42 cause, which supports myself doing this as a part-time job, supports Desk being our moderator, supports the puppy of interest, the cat, the dogs, all of the pets of interest, and Agent Goose and all that, then you are, of course, going to get first dibs on answers to your queries. But I also highlight members in the chat and their questions as priority. They're regulars around here. I know their names because they hang out more, and they are also donating to the chat, so they get a priority. But I also answer white names when I can, and when I find an interesting question. This interesting question was telling you guys how chat works so you know how to game the system. It's just having luck. I was worried I'd be annoying. It is not annoying or spam to repost your questions because we have slow mode. That way you're not posting it like spam. And the odds are I might not have seen it the first time, so I will see it again if you post it again. The desk will warn you if you are getting spammy. Chat etiquette is important because you don't want to annoy me or Desk. That will cause problems for your Talking to Site 42 career. Now, to finally answer what Affleck was talking about, what is a Captain Howler? I don't know what that is. Captain Howler. Sea Scourge, Aether Drift, number 194, legendary creature, Shark Pirate Ward. Oh no. The Shark Punching Center has to fight a shark pirate with Gatling guns. That is a nightmare for the Shark Punching Center. But for me, non-Shark Punching Center, it's just hecking cool. I am a new intern. Is it cool if I call myself Intern Desmond? Intern Desmond, I will call you that when I see your name in the message, but do remember, because your user handle in the chat is not Intern Desmond, I might have trouble remembering that. So if your handle is Intern Desmond, then I can know what to call you. Otherwise, just put Intern Desmond at the start of each chat. Kamulk, thank you for sending another star. The chat is now a 4-star team. Almost 5 stars again. Rocky, thank you for supering again to say, what's your favorite non-SCP creepypasta? My favorite non-SCP creepypasta is definitely Ben Drowned. I am a huge fan of the Majora's Mask game in the first place. I happened to be in college living in the dormitories when Ben Drowned was happening, and it was creepy as fuck. Scared the hell out of me. Good stuff. If you'd like to remind them that I answer questions for them too, and if I see a question I like, I do send it off to you in the back channels. Favoritism may apply. So yes, remember chat etiquette, since I'm giving a class on that today anyways. The Desk of Alto Clef, as well as Agent Goose, show up in the chat as our moderators. You will see the blue shield next to their name. Always read what the moderators say, because A, they might just be answering your question if they know the answer and it's simple enough that I don't need to bother with it. They may be telling you that you're breaking a rule, and if you don't listen to them break a rule, if you don't fix that because you ignored the mod, you'll get banned and you might not even know why. So don't ignore the mods. I'm the good cop, they are the bad cop. Furthermore, the mods are pretty funny. They might just say funny jokes that you don't want to miss. Sans, thank you for sending 2 doubloons to the chat. I am sure they will spend them wisely. Brian, the parasitic centipede that is living in my shoulder. Stop it. We still have an hour of stream. I need you to chill the F out. And stop singing "You Don't Always Get What You Want" by the Rolling Stones in my head. Do not use your psychic connection for evil. Or mocking with ironic song choices. Kamulk, thank you for sending 2 stars to the chat. You have reset them to a 1-star team. Chat, you now have a prestige rank, but you are now a 1-star team again. Climb the ranks to 5 stars if you can. Sans, thank you for sending 5 doubloons to the chat. I'm sure they will spend them wisely. Kamulk, thank you for sending 2 more stars to the chat. You have now brought them up to a 3-star team. Sans, thank you for sending... Oh, Lord. Hold on. Sans sent you 5 more doubloons, followed by 4 more doubloons, so 9 doubloons for you. Open your wallet, chat. The doubloons are coming. Then Rocky sent you 2 stars, making you a 5-star team. For the time being, anyways. Sans sent you 10 doubloons. Clink those coins. Intern Mussington sent you 16 stars, giving you 4 more prestige ranks and making you a 1-star team again. I am very curious about this. What if you enter the Infinite IKEA backward? Would you be able to exit? So, I'm a little confused about what you're asking here, intern Riddle. But, first of all, the way the door to the Infinite IKEA works. Number 1, remember, SCP-3008, the Infinite IKEA's door, in our world, on our side of the door, is 1 door to 1 IKEA. So that we close down and lock down so people don't go through the door. Any other door or window to that IKEA just goes into the regular building. It is only the front door that goes into the Infinite IKEA dimension. Secondly, once you enter the Infinite IKEA dimension through this 1 door, then what you will find is that as long as you are within eyeshot of the door, the door will not move and you can still leave. But once you walk far enough away that you can't see the door anymore, the door will teleport and now you're stuck. So I think specifically if you walk through the door backwards and you can still see the door, you're fine. and you can walk back out. But once you can't see the door anymore, it will disappear and move somewhere else, and then you will be trapped. I think that's basically what you were asking. Alright, Chesta Factory, thank you for notifying me that there was a Ko-Fi donation. I missed it. Chesta Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Also, a quick peanuts in the chat from the members for Chesta Factory being our #1 first ever stream sniper again. A pretty impressive feat over at Open Sauce 2026 to be the first stream sniper of Site 42. Congratulations, Chesta Factory. An interesting achievement, to be sure. Chesta Factory, please grab yourself a dirtied soda on your way past the commissary. About to upgrade my custom keyboard from a Pico that uses micro USB to a Pico that uses USB-C for the microcontroller. I do hear that that is better technologically, yes. Also, I was just watching all of the SCP videos by So Okay Here's the Thing. I was not expecting your cameo in the second severely bridged SCP video. Ah, yes, I do remember that. It was quite a time ago, but So Okay Here's the Thing is a cool animator. And I do hope that they continue to grow and make cool things, including their interactions with the SCP community. And you will still see George the Chinchilla around in their animations from time to time. Intern Leah, Intern Shadow the Hedgehog, Intern Zyler. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. There why I am getting into SCP LOL. Ah, Intern Desmond, you're getting into SCP because of So Okay Here's the Thing. Radical, good content creator. And welcome to Site 42 on behalf. What do you do if someone looks at SCP-096? Well, Intern Terror, we get out of the way, because 096 will kill everything in its path that sees its face. Once 096 stops moving, we can head to its location, bag it, and bring it back and lock it up again. Fun fact, it's the Foundation's fault that the ice cream machine at McDonald's doesn't work. We cut off their soft serve supply, which is SCP-4155. Same author as SCP-4122 that I made a dad joke about. Intern DJ, that is some very interesting information that I'm sure the chat appreciates knowing. No soft serve for the McDonald's Corporation. Are bad. Except we don't really care. That's what you get. If I look at 096 and start running... If I look at 096 and start running at him, he will be scared, right? Not asking for any particular reason. So first of all, Intern Anomalous Researcher, I would expect you to be better than this. Remember that SCP-096, as well as all anomalies in containment, are its, not he's. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. All objects are referred to as it, because we do not want to accidentally humanize the anomaly, develop empathy for the anomaly, and feel like it's a bad thing that we contained it for life without parole for no crime except for being the way it is. And then you free the anomaly and it murders everyone, or at the very least, reveals secrecy, which is bad for human civilization. So, please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols. 096 is an it. Secondly, no, if you run directly at 096, it will just kill you faster. Anomalies are not people. Damn right, Wesker. That is a scientist whom I can respect their opinion, for sure. OMG hi, I've never seen you live. Intern Glide, welcome to today's stream. Yes, that is very unfortunate for you because we have been streaming every day for over a year and 3 months, and only now has the YouTube algorithm deigned to bring you to us. But do not fear, you can still join our daily briefings from now on. We stream every day at different times of day though, so make sure you hit that YouTube subscription bell to be alerted of when we're live. Or, even better, even more reliable, if you are 18 or older, you may join the Site42 Discord server and gain the YouTube live alert role that I ping at the start of every stream, much more reliable than the YouTube bell. But make sure you check us out on the daily because we are always talking about the SCP universe and answering your queries. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, what SCP are in your headcanon, aka this universe? I think that's a little bit too broad of a question, because look at the SCP database. I'm sure most of those exist in my universe. Some of the documents are from other universes, but I mean, how would I even know? If they're not under my administration here at Site42, it could be a different Site-17 and I would never know. I see a Ko-Fi notification. Let me grab that. Mamori, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member and making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which, of course, as we all know, only takes 3% of your donation as a service fee, while YouTube Super Chats take 30% of your donation for YouTube itself to make money. And if you do so on an Apple product, then Apple gets another 30% of your donation. So especially when you are doing larger donations to the cause, we appreciate it if you go through the Ko-Fi. And I saw someone ask this earlier. Yes, whoever asked, YouTube also gets 30% of your membership fee as well. And so the trouble is, memberships on YouTube are what allow you to use the custom emojis and for me to see your badges to know you're a member. So while doing the Patreon gives more money to the creator, you don't get the same benefits directly through YouTube. So that's kind of a toss-up on what you prefer. Now, after all that explanation of the behind the scenes of content creation donations, Mamori says, oh, and grab yourself a packet of Raisinets on your way past the commissary. Are there any fun facts or niche backstory blurbs about character Sherman that we might not know? Niche behind-the-scenes information about Dr. Sherman. What secret nuggets of lore can I share upon you this day that might not be well known? Maybe something we discussed in the past that only the OGs would know. This is hard because I know everything about myself. Therefore, thinking of lore that you don't know about me is different. Niche backstory lore. Well, this was recently hinted about in a video from Open Sauce, but in case you didn't see that, or in case you didn't get the full context, I have been a ballroom dance instructor as my cover job for about 20 years. But before I was a ballroom dancer, I was the worst dancer you'd ever met in my show choir. And I only got good at dancing because of my practice at becoming an expert Dance Revolution player. To the point where I could do expert mode perfect songs with all the sick spins. Because no, I was not a loser who put my hands on the bar. I was dancing. I was doing spins. I could do the entire song of Afro Nova completely backwards because I had memorized it. So, there's some backstory. DDR Pro. That's how you learn foot-eye coordination one way or another. Okay, returning to the chat. Wait, where's my chat? Chat, where'd you go? Chat, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I can't just answer your questions without you. Alright, chat is refreshing. Oh, yes, even effervescent, even. You are so refreshing, chat. Okay, you're back. Intern Nelly Ramos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a pack of pickled peppers on your way past the commissary. What if you give SCP-096 access to a gun? Well, SCP-096 is not sentient or sapient in any way that we can tell. All it does is cry, eat hot chip, and murder. So it would not use a gun. It would not know what to do with it. Intern DJ, we have had this conversation several times, and you are going to have to learn to deal with it. When you're in my house, you follow my proper pronoun parlance protocols. When I'm in your house, I'll follow yours. This is a two-way street. You have to respect me, and I have to respect you. In my chat, my rules. We talk about this a lot. I need you to engage with this and let this conversation topic lie. I am tired of repeating myself a little bit. Here in my house, my pronoun parlance protocols. When I go to your place, we'll follow your rules, and I will not peep about it. That's the deal. That's the rule. Now, you saying 096 is sentient according to SCP-5731, that I am unfamiliar with. Interesting. I wonder what tests they ran to figure that out. And how they've got the proof of that. 5731, you say. Now I've got to go wiki diving. Ah, yes, I remember the music box that lets you have insight into thoughts. Well, I mean, we also know that in several universes, with the book known as Overcoming Shyness from the Tenda Village, that 096 can overcome its shyness and then become a TikTok dance star. So I guess there has to be something up there, in some universes at least. Representative DJ, I am not arguing with you on this subject because I don't care if it is a protocol put into effect on omniversal terms. It is also part of that subsection of that protocol, that if you're at someone's house, you follow the rules of respect. This does not need to be an argument. Respect my rules when you're in my house, and I'll respect your rules at your house. This is protocol. Part of that protocol is respecting other foundations in the multiverse's rules. I am honestly feeling very disrespected about this. It is disrespectful for you to keep correcting me in my own chat. Intern Daniel, thank you for sending 3 stars to the chat. Does anyone know how many stars we have before I lost the chat? What rating were we at? I don't remember what star rating we were at before the chat refreshed. If anyone can remember. I feel like we might have been in a 1-star team or a 2-star team. I see the most 2s in the chat. I'm going to go with 2 and say that Daniel has made you a 5-star team again. Rocky then continues to add 7 stars, making you a 2-star team again. But with an extra prestige rank or 2. 2 prestige ranks. So 2-star team, 2 more prestige ranks. Creature Freak, thank you for sending a doubloon to the chat. I'm sure chat will spend it wisely. Rocky, also thank you for sending happy poop to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I hope they appreciate that. Are there any farms in the Foundation? Because I am actually a farmer and I love my work. Intern Secret Cat, yes, I am certain that the SCP Foundation has farms, both for food production for certain sites that require it, as well as farming anomalous plants to make sure we can continue to study them. A couple of the SCP anomalies that are farms in and of themselves. SCP-2031 is an ant farm. I don't think that really counts. SCP-4596, codename A Farm Upstate. Intern 4277, Bullet Farm. So yes, if you search farm on the database, you find a lot of farms. Rocky, thank you for sending 5 glitter bombs to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll enjoy cleaning them all up. Intern Yamada, we are approximately 45 minutes from the end of stream. Time check of 45 minutes remaining in stream. How do you feel about AI SCP videos? Intern Retro, the SCP Foundation as a whole is an incredibly anti-generative AI art community. The SCP Wiki has banned AI works from the site. You do not... we are a community of arts hobbyists. We like making art. Having robots come in and flood the zone, making it useless for us to make things, is not really our idea of a good time. Dr. Sherman, I saw you raid Rad stream yesterday. I also saw you saw the Hamilton Chaos. Can we get some Shermusical today? So, Freud, let me just point this out. That Shermusical is the fact that I, as a musical theater person, will bust out into any song. Shermusical is not limited to Hamilton. I just want to make that clear. In fact, the credit song is Shermusical every day. You're welcome. But if you're asking specifically about some Hamilton, right now, I have a different credit song picked for the day. Now, for those who were not present in the chat in the lead up to Open Sauce, in order to raise funds to buy the very expensive VIP ticket so I could do the networking I needed to meet all of the creators and get in with them and arrange future projects and collaborations, I sold the credit song music request to the highest bidder each stream. Yesterday, intern Marksy just gave a very generous donation to change the credit song that I was going to pick. I'm thinking of a system where maybe I let you guys pick the credit song if it's something I know, and if you give a generous donation to the cause. But I don't want to, as lucrative as it would be for me to start a bidding war for the credit song each day, I feel like that would be mean and hurtful to everybody who wants to donate and then gets out-donated. So I don't kind of want to do that. So I haven't thought of a system that would work for that. Meanwhile, Chozos, we are not taking credits, background music requests because the credit music is specifically from the Slowgramming music project of friend of the channel and SCP author Billith, which is Creative Commons release, so we can use it on the channel. And it's a lot of them are based on SCPs. Desk suggests the first $50 dono gets to pick the credit song. Oh, that seems reasonable. The first one to do it in stream, meaning you get to call dibs. There's still the problem of what if I don't know the song that we'd have to work through. I guess maybe I can just veto a song if I don't know it and couldn't do it justice. So yeah, I guess first come, first serve. I like first come, first serve because that's just like SCP numbers on the wiki. SCP slots are first come, first serve. So if you're the first person to do it, then that's that. Desk, well, sorry. I'm just trying to protect Sherman from wokes. If the SCP Foundation were real and had omniversal communication, this behavior wouldn't be allowed. By the way, Dr. Nadas from 4951. DJ, I understand that you are role-playing that scene. So this is a improv question. And now I'm coming fully out of character for a second. Regular Sherman is taking over, and Dr. Sherman's going to be very angry about this with a migraine in just a second. So the key here is this has been a repeated conversation you have I had in the chat in roleplay. And the character of Dr. Sherman is going to abrasively push back on this. Is going to say, yeah, well, my rule's my house. Which, as a character, or as an actor will even say, is fair among the omniversal protocols. That yes, you have to respect other people's preferences, but also they have to respect yours, a two-way street. My house, my rules, your house, your rules. That's just fair game. And yes, Dr. Sherman would get in a fight with people who want to argue about that in a heated situation, especially if you are starting an argument. And so, previously, you and I have had a personal conversation in email about hurt feelings over the abrasiveness of the Dr. Sherman character, but in continually bringing this up, you have started an argument that Dr. Sherman has to engage in. And so, I'm stuck in a place in character where either I engage with you in character and roleplay, but I don't want to hurt your feelings again. And so, this is the situation where I'm kind of stuck here and having to come out of character for this. So please, just in future, let's cut this line of roleplay out of it so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Is that fair game? Do you see where I'm coming from on this? I hope so. Alright. Son of a bitch! Ow! What did you do? What did you do that he had to do that to me? Fucking hell! You asshole! That was way too long! Those who are unfamiliar with what just took place, the SCP Foundation exists on a pataphysical narrative level. Pataphysics is when you look down at a fictional story, and those are fictional characters. And then any stories that those fictional characters write are fictional to them. So stories go all the way down. This is not multiversal level, this is pataphysical level. Hold on, desync. And you guys, on our pataphysical level, the SCP, and we do our jobs, and we are very serious business. But on the pataphysical narrative level above us, we are all just fictional characters on a creepypasta wiki for horror writers. And so, the authors are able to, if they deem fit, take over your vessel as one of their characters and speak directly through you. Now, usually this is considered bad writing if you, for the sake, all of a sudden you're reading a story and the character turns to camera and starts yapping the moral of the story. People usually see that as bad writing. But sometimes it can be fun and meta. And sometimes it hurts like a bitch. So yes, I highly recommend not getting into a scenario where your author feels comfortable taking over your body for these kind of things. It's not fun. Ow. The rules of our universe are strange, and that's why the SCP Foundation contains them. No one else out there in normal, veiled civilization should have to deal with this bullshit. Alright, while I was being hijacked, Kamulk, thank you for sending 5 stars to the chat to make them a 2-star team with more prestige. You sent more stars than that, but it was interrupted by a 1 hundo, so... LARP Boo, thank you for sending a 1 hundo to the chat. I am sure they will keep it 1 hundo at your urging. Kamulk, thank you for sending a total of 21 stars. So now the chat has 4 prestige ranks and are now a 3-star team. Now that's mathed out. So characters in very meta stories are in constant pain. No, intern Nolono, because there's a difference between having meta awareness and being actively hijacked by your author. I know about the pataphysical narrative levels because I've worked in the past with the pataphysics department, so I understand that my author is up there. Talking about my author does not cause me pain. I understand and have dealt with the surreal existential horror of being a fictional character to that layer. I balance it by knowing that there are fictional levels below me, and there are levels above my author that are even more real. Meaning that everything at the end of the day is fake, and everything at the end of the day is real at the same time, so just don't worry about it too much. But being hijacked by your author and puppeted does hurt like a bitch. Intern Guzman, thank you for subscribing to Site42. Welcome to staff. Okay, hold on. I want to catch up with the chat, but my terminal is lagging. I really need to get a budget increase from the overseers to replace this thing. This is a 10-year-old terminal, so yeah, it's not exactly highest of tech. Creature Freak, thank you for sending a glitter bomb to the chat. I'm sure they'll have fun cleaning it up. Gurkiert, thank you for sending a 1 hundo to the chat. I'm sure they will keep it 1 hundo. Kamulk, thank you for sending 10 stars to the chat to keep them at a 3-star ranking with a double prestige rank edition. And then thank you for sending 10 more stars to keep them at a 3-star rank with a double prestige rank edition. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the chat. I'm sure they feel the love. Daniel, thank you for sending 2 more glitter bombs. I'm sure the chat will enjoy cleaning those up. And Yusavar, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself a bucket of popped corn on your way past the commissary. Yusavar, thank you for saying, if SCP-073, Kane, was tricked into getting into SCP-729, the marble bath that makes you feel lazy and not want to leave, who would the damage be directed to? The approver of the cross test or 729 itself? So I believe the question you would have to answer that for Kane is, does Kane's ability jump damage sources? So for the instance, if I sent a D-class in to shoot Kane, and then the question is, would the D-class be damaged or would I be damaged? That's what you're looking at there. It looks like it is a direct line, which means the damage would be caused to the marble bath. So, there's your answer. Daniel, thank you for sending 2 stars to the chat to make them a 5-star chat again. Congratulations on being a 5-star chat for the time being. Creature Freak, thank you for sending sparkles to the chat. I'm sure they will appreciate cleaning up yet another glitter bomb. What are the SCP Foundation's opinions on AI writing assistance that helps with punctuation or spelling? Intern Rocky, I will go to the SCP database's AI policy. This page is on the AI database. It says policy on the use of AI-generated media, SCP International. Go check it out, the whole thing. AI-generated content. Now, this is for English branch. The different international branches have slightly different rules, so I suggest reading the whole thing, especially for your own branch. I'm only going to read the English in full. Number 1, AI-generated content. The use of generative machine learning models to generate user-facing content is banned. Generative, footnote, the model produces more meaningful information than was input into the model. Machine learning, an algorithmic system designed to replicate a given set of training data to generate user-facing content. All content directly viewable to the user, e.g. text, images, audio, video, etc., excluding CSS, JavaScript, and other parts that communicate to the browser, not the user. Users who post AI-generated content to the SCP Wiki will receive a revocation of membership on their first offense and a permanent ban on the second. Good faith exception. This policy does not apply to properly cited images from external sources unless they were created by, for, or at the behest of the user who posted them to the wiki. So basically, if you sourced an image and did not know as AI, you get a grace period. Number 2. Furthermore, the uses of tools whose primary use is gen machine learning is also banned for user-facing content. All exceptions to this policy are on the following whitelist. Empty. There is no exception. Number 4. Examples of banned content include but are not limited to ChatGPT generated text, Midjourney/Stable Diffusion. 3. AI voice generation. 5. Examples of allowed content. Here's what you're looking for. DeepL Translator. Grammarly, Proofly, Reading, and Spell Check assistance only. No AI-generated content or AI revised or rewritten material. That's going to be a big difference there. 2. Fractal generation. 3. Traditional text-to-speech if license is compatible. 4. AI-generated CSS code. And 5. Writing stories about AIs. Please read the policy on the use of AI-generated media for the other international branches' slightly tweaked policies. Beastly Gamer, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. Jane Doe, thank you for sending an eagle to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will fly like an eagle to the sea. By the way, time check, chat. We are currently 27 minutes from the end of stream. 27 minutes. Rocky, thank you for sending a press F to the chat. I'm sure they will pay respects. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what happens if 073 sees a photo of 096? I do believe that 096 would take the damage it is heaping upon 073, which would be a way to figure out if 096 can damage itself to death. For everyone who thinks, oh, can we put 096 in front of a mirror? Then that would be the actual way to get it to self-damage itself. But it's possible that once it realizes 073 will not take full damage, that it will quit, similar to how it did with 682. It just gave up and had a panic attack. Let me rephrase actually. Dr. Sherman, let's say a person has an anomalous condition, but the person isn't anomalous themselves. Do we still give the ailed person its pronouns? So let's take a look at an article I know can very easily give us at least one example of this. From SCP Anthology 2025, I believe. No, 2024. SCP Anthology 2024. Which phobia was it? Hedonophobia. Codename Carnal Rotting by Ori Tiefling. With a huge content warning for sexually explicit content and gore. So, in the story, in the data log for SCP-8558, one of our Foundation staff members is infected with a disease from SCP-8558-1 entities. And so throughout the logs, and now I have to search for it or he, which comes up. So we definitely denied euthanasia when the disease got really bad because we were studying the anomalous effects of the virus on a human being. It looks like in the video log number 6, we did refer to the researcher who was infected by he pronouns in at least this incident. So even though the researcher was infected with an anomalous disease, we still referred to them as a he. At least in this instance. So there's one case study from the document, from the database for you. Sketch Tail, thank you for sending a thumbs up to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they appreciate the positivity. Dr. Sherman, do you consider your connection with your author to be a condition? Mamori, no, I do not, because technically speaking, as we are all written by some author on the pataphysical narrative level above us, that is actually pretty normal. It's just the fact that most authors aren't as pushy as mine. Ow! Yeah, pushy, I say. But technically speaking, this could happen to any of you as well, and I certainly hope it doesn't. In SCP-6113-3, the human is referred to by its. You are correct, Rune. During the SCP-6113 incident, we did refer to the normal human being who was anomalously transitioned as an its. So depending, it could go either way, it seems. Intern Site 9. You can keep typing that SCP designation all you want in the chat, but due to the desk's anomalous influence, we are protected from such things, as are you. However, maybe you don't deserve to be protected since you're doing it in the first place. If I have an author, I just want to talk to her. Yeah, seriously, some of them are writing some terrible things into our lives. Yes, it builds character. We don't want to all be Mary Sues running around. But geez, you can lay off sometimes. How do you feel about SCP fan projects? Intern Retro, I love SCP fan projects. People making art is awesome. That's what the SCP community is all about. Writing, art, videos, games, all this stuff. Make art, dang it. Intern JJ, thank you for sending a flow state to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will lock the hell in and find their zen. The Puppy of Interest 42 is back, wearing an adorable Trans rights harness. I must guess that it is about time for walkies. The puppy of interest 42, codenamed Charlie, is about to go on a thrilling adventure in the great outdoors. Very good times for a very sweetie pumpkin. Very fashionable. Vesicle baby. Remember, chat, that puppy of interest 42, codenamed Charlie, is Charlie without the E and a heart over the I. Hey, Goose. By the way, I saw something horrible the other day that I thought you would find either entertaining or mortifying in equal measure. It was a joke about an adoptable puppy at a shelter. And the puppy only had one eye, unfortunately. And the name was Irk, otherwise known as Eric without the eye. And I just realized that it's Charlie without the E, but it's also Charlie without the I.
That'd be so funny.
It's Charles. Charles!
Charlie.
Charlie! Charlie without the I. It's Charlie!
That's one of the most adorable things I've ever heard.
Very funny.
Very, very funny.
For those who are unaware, yes, Charlie is specifically named after Charlie XCX and is a girl dog. Rocky, thank you for sending a flower to the chat. I'm sure they found it very, very pretty. Angelif, thank you for sending a gold coin, 2 doubloons to the chat. I'm sure they appreciate the spending doubloons. Taco, thank you for pressing F. The chat will pay respect. JJ, thank you for sending a floating heart. I'm sure the chat feels the love. Creepypasta George Harrison, thank you for your 5 months. As a mobile task force captain here at Site 42, we appreciate your membership and your service. I don't have a question, but I'd like to share my favorite SCP. SCP-2391 is an interesting one that is well written in my opinion. All right. If you are interested in checking out SCP-2391's on behalf of Creepypasta George Harrison, feel free. Oh my god, you're stupid. Intern Yashgig, that's a very rude thing to say to someone. Are you a rude child? Are you a jerkwad of some sort? Who are you being mean to in my chat? I'm certain you can't be being mean to the site director. That would be an incredibly dumb idea. Terrible things happen when you are rude to the site director of an SCP Foundation site. What are you talking about? So you called me stupid without knowing what we're talking about? So maybe you're the stupid one. We are the SCP Foundation. We contain anomalies and hide from the public. You should say thank you for the work we do, making sure that monsters and magic objects don't ruin humanity. JJ, thank you for sending another floating heart to the chat. I'm sure they feel the love doubly. Lurking, thank you for sending a doubloon to the chat. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. JJ, thank you for sending 2 more doubloons to the chat. I'm sure they'll spend them wisely. You guys are raking in the doubloons today. JJ, thank you for sending a floating heart. I'm sure they feel the love. Angelif, thank you for sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doubloons to the chat. Spend those doubloons wisely. Goated, JJ, thank you for sending a 100 to the chat. 2 100s, so you guys got to keep it doubly 100 now. Oh, even more 100s. We'll have to see how many. Gold coin from Angelif. Spend your doubloon wisely. Another Angelif doubloon keeps accruing doubloons. Another doubloon from Angelif. Do it. And then you have to keep it 10 times as 1 hundo thanks to Go to JJ. 10 times as 1 hundo. I wonder if you're up to the task. Sophia Marie, thank you for sending a glitter bomb to the chat. I am sure they will spend it wisely. It turns out JJ is still sending 1 hundos. There's just some lag, so now you have to keep it 14 times as 1 hundo. How do you feel about SCP AUs? Because I made an AU where 682 gets redeemed. Well, intern Secret Cat, SCP Foundation AUs are all over the place. I do appreciate the creativity of people creating their own multiverses. I'd be shocked to hear what redeemed SCP-682 of all things, but maybe you've got a very interesting story to tell. And you can create a universe where there's a 682 who helps us for once. JJ, you sent a total of 15 1 hundos, so chat, I hope you're keeping it 1 hundo. Angela, thank you for sending another doubloon. Chat, ring in those doubloons. Open your coin purse. Also, time check. We have 14 minutes remaining. 14 minutes in this stream, so get your last 15-minute questions in. What happens if I get SCP-096, 682, and 173 in a fight? I like Desk's answer. You get asked to read more SCPs. Yeah, those are too many. So those are too many talked about. Too easy a meme. Need to get more creative. Intern Orbit Void. We do not fraternize with anomalies. It's against protocol. Leave your shipping fanfic for Tumblr, please. Angela, thank you for sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more doubloons. Oh, you made me say the thing. I see. Chat, enjoy your doubloons and the reference. What is the real SCP-6789, not Siren Head? SCP-6789, well, first of all, you could just look this up on the database. I'm not Google. You have the ability to look at the SCP database yourself. But if I were to pull it up out of interest, it is codename Return, Return, Return. I am actually unfamiliar with this anomaly. So go give it a read and you tell me. Dr. Sherman, you are better than Google. You're damn right I am, which is why I shouldn't be reduced to such menial tasks. Did you ever get Tumblr connected? No, T-Rose. Actually, my app that I use to multi-post social media does not have Tumblr. It just does not link to Tumblr or Twitter, actually. They actually did Twitter before and then stopped. So, Tumblr and Twitter, I would need to purposefully manual post. Which, I mean, I already manual post to Twitter, so I guess I could throw Tumblr on there. It's just more effort. I'm a very busy site director. I also would need to refresh the Site42 Tumblr. I haven't seen it in a couple of years. I think it still uses my The Sherman handle now that I think about it. Angela, thank you for your first super of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a mocha frappuccino on your way past the commissary. I found a level 4 key card left forgotten in access port. Seems still operational. ID number 772612B. Who do I turn into for security purposes? Hand it off to your nearest security officer. I'm sure they can walk it over to the proper desk. Sophia Marie, thank you for your first super of today's stream. Grab yourself some super salad on your way past the commissary. Ha ha ha. Dr. Sherman, I got clearance to read about SCP-001, but I don't know which file to start with. Well, they are all individual files that are separate from each other, so it really doesn't matter where you start. And in fact, I do believe the SCP-001 page specifically, every time you refresh it, randomizes the entries, so you get a different order. That way, one SCP-001 is not lauded as more important than the rest. So I suggest just starting to read them. Angela, thank you for sending 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 doubloons to the chat, with an additional doubloon from Sketchtail, with 2 more additional doubloons from Angelith. Enjoy your doubloons, chat. The Tumblr site name is Site42, no dash or space. Good, at least I got that right. Thank you for checking, Amber. Maybe I will start doing automatic upload to Tumblr, or manual upload, because I already have to manual upload to Twitter anyways, so I can just copy and paste it one more time. Creekwoods, thank you for your first super of today's stream from Site 15. Please grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary, but only if you feel responsible enough for it. What's your favorite SCP contained at Site 15? Well, that's very specific. Let me look at Site 15 and see what their database entries are. If I can even find such a thing. Site 15. Santa Clara Valley or Silicon Valley, so they are very local to us here at Site 42 because we're also the Bay Area. Anomalies. 5242 5241 6276 8888 8888 0791343 1900 22 42 26 98 30 14 46 45 50 18 73 42 78 80 40 72 74 01 75 79 73 58 687 719 896 13 15 25 43 30 14 34 82 50 94 73 39 7401 6289 64 88 67 47. The only one that I know of any of these is SCP-5094, so that's automatically my favorite. Miss J's WizKid Schoolhouse, SCP-5094 is the only one I know from Site 15. Therefore, that's the only one I can claim as my favorite. Default! The most beautiful 2 words in the English language. Default, default, default. Urbex Pepper, thank you for your first super of today's stream. Please grab yourself some hot chip on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what happens if you give the gender switching stone to a non-binary person? What gender would they switch to? Non-binary personalities are not what the gender switching stone seemingly was manufactured for, and so it acts a little haywire. In the tale on the database, this is a Foundation story after all. One of our researchers who was non-binary was turned into a shape-shifting cat girl. So suffice it to say, SCP-113 has unpredictable results with non-binary identities. What would you do if 049 won Tumblr Sexy Man contest? Intern Rocky. I would be incredibly annoyed, but then the merch sales on my proposed SCP-096 body pillow would go through the roof, and that would really help the site budget. Also, Desk, do remember, Tumblr Sexy Man is a meme term that is allowed in the chat. It is a funny Tumblr meme. If you need someone to make that body pillow, I'm not above whoring out anomalies. Mamori? I'm not kidding. Maybe. If you wanted to start making a art of that thing as a practice sketch, it is wholly possible I might look into the Site 42 Spring store and see if they have body pillow size pillows. Because either that, or I can talk to James from Forlorn Foundry, who helps us out with the Dr. Sherman plushies, and we can cut him in on it, and I'll commission the art, he'll get involved, and we'll go in 3 ways on it. Do not take out of context us talking about 3 ways in regards to the 049 body pillow. Don't even do it. I love the chat 30-second delay, because then I say that and Des goes, do not say 3-way! Absolutely brilliant. Oh, chat, we only have 3 minutes left in stream. Get your last questions in. Kamulk, thank you for sending 9 stars to the chat. You made them a 4-star team with 2 more prestige ranks. Oh, 10 stars, sorry. 5-star team with 2 more prestige ranks. Creekwood, thank you for sending 2 hot chips. I'm sure the chat appreciates the hot chip snacks. Kamulk, thank you for sending 4 stars to now make them a 4-star team with a prestige rank. And then Creekwood sent Sparkles. Clean up that glitter bomb, everyone. Kamulk, thank you for sending stars of an amount that was... Oh, everyone's sending everything now. This is very confusing. It looks like 11 stars from Kamulk to put you guys back at a 5-star ranking with 2 more prestige ranks. Somewhere in the middle of that, Creekwood sent 2 more glitter bombs, so clean those the hell up. Angelif sent you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more doubloons, while Creekwood sent you a 100, so keep the doubloons and make them... keep it 100 while you're at it. Angelo sent you another doubloon. Spend it wisely. Creature Freak sent you a glitter bomb. Clean it up. Rocky sent you a star. 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. So you're a 5-star team again with another prestige rank. While Angelif sent you a gold coin or 2. So 2 more doubloons plus being a 5-star ranking. And then the stars kept coming. Rocky made you a 6-star, meaning you're a 1-star team with another prestige rank. And then Creekwood sent you a star, and Angelif sent you 3 more doubloons. So you are a 2-star team, 3 more doubloons. There's so much going on. And chat, we are now at the end of stream. And as I do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs, but I'm not going to tell you my favorites are the ones I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can read the SCPs I wrote, as well as contributed voice lines to. And while you're on my author page, 1 tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people ask about in the chat very often, but then when I tell them this big glaring hint, they aren't smart enough to go check. So sad for them. But not for you. You'll find those links. And when you do, you'll have the opportunity to also become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to help out Site 42 and our staff to keep the lights on and to make zany projects. So we thank you for your generosity. And if you're part of the Broke Gang and you cannot donate, do not despair. You can still help us out by donating your time and effort as a member of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, when you make memes, fan art, shitposts, edits, out-of-context compilations, you are spreading the word of the SCP Foundation, of Site 42, and of the SCP projects we support. The SCP Wiki with its authors and artists, the SCP filmmakers, game devs, animators, podcasters, merch makers, etc. And so we thank you for your generosity to the cause and helping us get bigger and better SCP projects. Some donos came in while I was doing the start of the outro. Let me catch up. Rocky, thank you for sending 3 stars to let the chat end as a 5-star team. Angela, thank you for donating again to say, enjoy the doubloons, don't be mad, but I did use the aforementioned abandoned key card to access and use time travel. I stole them from a pirate. It wasn't a pirate shark, was it? A little worried that thing might show up now that we know about it. Creekwood, thank you for spending a star to make the chat a 1-star team with another prestige rank. And Rocky, thank you for pressing F. Pressing F, the chat will pay respects. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3443, SCP-208-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5331, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3993-3430, and content will last one to read. So, Site-42 staff, this has been another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I don't like walking around this old and empty house, so holding my hand, I'll walk with you, my dear. The stairs creep as you sleep, it's keeping me awake. It's the house telling you to close your eyes. And some days I can't even dress myself. It's killing me to see you this way. 'Cause though the truth may vary, this ship will carry our bodies safe to shore. Don't listen to the word I say. Hey, the screams all sound the same. And though the truth may vary, this ship will carry our bodies safe to shore. The credit song is Little Talks by Of Monsters and Men. Thank you, Creekwoods, for sending a star, and Rocky for sending 4 stars to keep you guys at a 1-star team as the stream ends. And Angela, thank you for sending 3 gold coins to the chat. Spend them wisely. Now, Site-42 staff, I gotta get to work, so I will see you guys later. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream.